Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they match up with the second-year man Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the...
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Ravens, led by the leading rusher amongst quarterbacks in 2018. In his second season now, Lamar Jackson. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. It's a give to the right. Ingram. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. A look now at our starting defense. They enter play here 24th in the league against the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5, they don't stop running the ball if they don't get things done early.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Jackson, option right, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Throwing, Mayfield. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 17 carries, 78 yards.
And when I watch them operate, I see a unit that's playing with extreme confidence. Offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers. You see a group that wants their number 8 rusher in the league end up being in the top 5 before it's over.
Second down and goal. Mayfield. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. And, Charles, we get a look here at the key inactives, and I tell you what, a big list for being this early in the season.
If there's any silver lining at all, you're hoping you can get these guys back, and now you'll play well down the stretch with them. But what you're also hoping is that the guys who have to play for them, the next man up mentality kicks in, and those guys take care of business.
Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, right? Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into it.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Sione Takitaki in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain of 32 that time. Sports. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. Here's Snead as they run the jet sweep. Fights him off. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Ingram. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
At the 35-yard line.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Burris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Mayfield looks to throw, and he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Mayfield down. And he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. Able to find Harris, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. Mayfield. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. And tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, 2 teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson, option right. And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. Letting one go deep for Roberts. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. Flush to his right. He's going deep for Brown. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September.
All right. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll start the 3rd quarter on the ground with Hunt. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 36, Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. Pushing his way through. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Let's go.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Oh, you Kareem Hunt. We know you've got the power. We know you've got the speed. Now how about that? Show us a little bit of that wiggle in there. How about that one, partner?
Can you imagine trying to tackle that? Yeah, I'll stay up here with you. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On second down, it's Hunt. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with third and just a couple. And now Mayfield on the bootleg. He finds Beckham complete. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On second down now, it's Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. He'll buy some time right. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Ingram again. Ingram's got the first down and more. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 13-yard line. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Jackson, option right. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Jackson now on 3rd and 2. Flushed out right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
Escaping the pressure. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Tucker with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right? Let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On first down, Hunt. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll run again with Hunt. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. On 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield is Hunt. And they take a knee. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you?
I
loved
did.
The defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the Browns, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here.